Have you ever told yourself, I'll do it when I feel ready? Ready to start, ready to leave, ready to speak up, ready to take the risk. It sounds reasonable. It sounds mature. It sounds like you're being patient with yourself. But for most people, ready isn't a timeline. It's a stall. Because readiness feels like a moment that should arrive. A switch that should flip. A feeling that should show up and say, now. And when it doesn't, you assume something is missing. More confidence, more clarity, more motivation, more certainty. So you wait. And while you're waiting, life doesn't pause with you. It keeps moving. Quietly, steadily, while you stay suspended between intention and action. What makes this so tricky is that waiting doesn't feel like avoidance. It feels responsible. It feels thoughtful. It feels like you're doing the right thing. But most of the time, what you're actually waiting for is relief from discomfort. Why ready feels like wisdom. Your brain loves the idea of readiness because it sounds like control. Readiness implies that you won't be surprised, you won't be embarrassed, you won't fail publicly, and that you won't regret acting too soon. It creates the illusion that you can move without friction. So the brain frames waiting as preparation. You tell yourself, I'm just getting my thoughts together. I'm just observing for now. I'm just making sure this is right. And none of those statements are lies. They're just incomplete truths. Because preparation has an endpoint. Waiting for a feeling does not. The brain doesn't actually know what ready feels like in advance, so it keeps redefining it. When you think you're close, it raises the bar. When you feel confident, it introduces doubt. When momentum starts to build, it whispers caution. Not because it hates growth, but because growth introduces uncertainty. And uncertainty is the one thing the brain is wired to avoid. The brain's hidden agenda. Here's the part most people don't realize. Your brain does not prioritize fulfillment. It prioritizes safety. Not happiness, not meaning, not potential, but safety. From the brain's perspective, doing nothing is rarely dangerous. Trying something new, however, often is. New actions mean unpredictable reactions from others, unfamiliar emotional states, loss of identity or routine, or the possibility of getting it wrong. So the brain delays action by delaying readiness. It reframes fear as logic. It reframes hesitation as wisdom. It reframes avoidance as patience. And because it controls how your body feels, it also controls when you feel ready. Which means if you wait for the feeling, you're also waiting on the very system that benefits from delay. This is why months can pass, sometimes years, with you feeling almost ready. Close enough to think about it, but not close enough to act. Why readiness is an effect, not a cause. This is where things start to flip. Most people believe, once I feel ready, I'll act. But psychologically, it works the opposite way. You act, and then your nervous system adapts. Confidence is not something you gather, and then spend. It's something your brain builds after exposure. Readiness doesn't come from thinking it through. It comes from proving to your brain that you could survive the experience. Not succeed at it, not master it, survive it. The brain learns through evidence, not intention. You can visualize growth all day, but until you move, your brain has no data. So it keeps you where it knows the outcome, even if that outcome isn't great. Why staying stuck feels strangely comfortable. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Staying stuck often feels calmer than starting. Not because it's better, but because it's familiar. Familiar pain feels predictable. Unfamiliar growth feels risky. Your brain knows how to survive disappointment. It knows how to survive frustration. It knows how to survive dissatisfaction. What it doesn't know is, what happens if this works? What happens if this changes me? What happens if I can't go back? So it chooses the known discomfort over the unknown possibility. That's why waiting can feel peaceful, until you realize you're not actually resting. You're just postponing your life. How this pattern shows up everywhere. This is why people read endlessly, but never apply. Plan obsessively, but never start. Wait for motivation instead of creating momentum. Feel busy, yet unfulfilled. They're not lazy. They're not broken. Their nervous systems are waiting for certainty. But certainty doesn't come first. Movement does. And the longer you wait, the heavier starting begins to feel. Because now you're not just starting to think, you're starting with regret attached. Your mind wants clarity before action. Your brain wants safety before movement. Neither one is wrong, but both of them will keep you stuck if you let them lead at the same time. You don't move because you feel ready. You feel ready because you moved, and your brain learned that you were still okay. Growth doesn't begin when fear disappears. It begins when fear is no longer in charge. And the life you're waiting to feel ready for only starts once you step into it. This is mind versus brain.